Operator, can you please connect me with OTR Halloween Holidays? I don't want to miss this episode of the Bah Ghoulie Show.
NBC presents Short Story. Today, Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley, wife of Percy Shelley, English poet of the period of Romanticism, was herself an author, writing in the convention of the Gothic novel. Along with a group of authors snowed in at a European mountain ski lodge, a storytelling session developed. Mary Shelley's contribution later became her best-known work, Frankenstein, or the Modern Prometheus. Written in 1818, the work has endured to this day as the epitome of horror stories. We'll begin our short story in just a moment. And now, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
The wind howling outside my lonely home is my only companion. All else is quiet here, as I sit by my window in the parlor writing this document for the scientific world. Be warned, you doctors and scientists who come after me. Be warned that man must not experiment with the secrets of life. My experiences started in the University of Manchester, where I was studying natural history. It was after class, May 22nd, 1818, that Professor Waldman, my close dear friend Henry Clerval, and myself were in the laboratory of the university.
Victor Frankenstein, your persistence amazes me. Someday I shall sit at your feet and allow you to teach me.
Thank you, Professor Waldman. But the whole subject of the structure of man has always been too clouded in mysticism.
Well, frankly, Victor, I prefer mysticism.
Well, that's because you're a mystic, Henry.
Why, Henry's no more a mystic than I am. He just loves to avoid arduous work.
Oh, translating that means I'm lazy, eh, Professor?
Well, if you prefer to put it that way, I rather think of you as a student whose nervous structure does not take kindly to natural history.
The professor's kinder to you than you are to yourself, Henry.
Well, if I worked as hard as you do, Victor, I should probably wear that same gaunt, sleepless look that you carry about.
Well, my experiment will be finished tonight. And then I'll manage the 8 hours sleep that other men manage.
The secret experiment will be finished tonight, huh?
Well, then, will you tell us just exactly what you're doing in the basement at home?
I'll tell the entire world. As a matter of fact, I stayed after class this afternoon, Professor Waldman, to ask you to join me this evening in the basement of our place to watch the completion of my work.
Oh, well, how about me?
I don't think I dare invite more than one, Henry. And the professor's more interested in this type of procedure than you are.
I shall be delighted, Victor.
Just the best friend who never knows what's going on in his own home, that's all.
It's not that, Henry. But I thought you'd entertain Elizabeth for me, while the professor and I were at work.
Entertaining Elizabeth would be a delightful favor, old boy. You know, I think you trust me too much with her. Have you ever met Victor's fiancée, Professor Waldman? She's one of the most charming...
Yes, Elizabeth was one of the most charming, beautiful women I'd ever known. I had been in love with her from childhood, but even my love for Elizabeth couldn't dim my passionate zeal for the work I was doing. It was 8 o'clock that evening. Henry, Elizabeth, and I were seated in the parlor. Elizabeth was saying...
I'll be so glad, Victor, darling, when all this is over. If you only knew how tired you look.
The minute my work is done, successfully or unsuccessfully, I promise you, Elizabeth, we'll be married and off to Switzerland before Henry has time to lock up this place.
But first, we find out about the secret in the basement.
Henry's being eaten up by curiosity.
I don't blame him. I'm suffering pangs of what's it all about, too.
Well, you'll both know soon. I wonder where Professor Waldman is. He's late.
He'll be here soon, Victor. Stop pacing the floor, sweetheart.
I think I'll start my work downstairs. Send the professor down when he arrives, will you, darling?
We'll come down ourselves and take a look around. Or will I turn into a pillar of salt for peeking?
Nobody ever turned into a pillar of salt for peeking, Beth. It was for looking back.
Oh, nothing like a good practical working knowledge of the Bible for scientific experiments. Starts the night off right.
Yes, I thought jokingly of that paragraph from the Bible then. And she was turned into a pillar of salt. But what about a man who looks back? There is no ready reference for him or for me. I went downstairs to my laboratory at a little past 8, opened the door, and started to tinker around to pass the time more quickly. My every sense was alive, taut, waiting, with the sense of what was to come. I heard a knock on the side door, which led me from my laboratory directly into the forest, which bordered Manchester. I looked out and...
Good evening, Victor.
Oh, did Elizabeth tell you to come down this way, Professor?
No, I found the entrance to your laboratory quite by myself.
I help you with your coat, sir?
No. You proceed with your work. Nothing like trivialities to annoy a scientist at work. There we are.
Well, follow me, Professor, into the back room, and you'll see for yourself what this is all about.
Well, I feel that I'm in for a most exhilarating evening. I wish I had more students fashioned in your mold, Victor.
Well, Professor, here is my...
Why, what's this? A full-sized replica of a man.
Yes, only he isn't full-sized. He's fashioned on a grander scale. I should say this creature standing up would be approximately 8 feet 2 inches tall.
Well, you should have been an artist, Victor. He's a perfect reproduction. What did you make him out of? Wood? Clay?
Animal flesh.
Flesh?
Feel him.
Oh, feels like the body of a dead man.
Or the body of a man who hasn't as yet been brought to life. This body is complete in every detail. Heart, lungs, teeth. Even the fine nervous system.
Oh, it's interesting. Yes, interesting. How about the brain cells?
Yes, adult brain cells. I think he's quite handsome, don't you?
Well, each man to his own taste. He's the best reproduction of a man I've ever seen, but actually his face is hideous. As a plastic surgeon, my dear Victor, I'm afraid I can't give you much credit. Well, what do you intend to do with this Hulk?
You see this fluid here in the test tube?
Yes.
I filled the hypodermic needle with it. And now I'm going to inject the full 8 ounces into the vein, directly above his heart.
But why?
Watch. You see, Professor, quite by accident, I stumbled on the secret of life. I've been bringing small one-cell creatures to life for quite some time.
The secret of life?
Within 30 seconds, after this injection, this creature will live.
You're trying to play God, Victor. It's heresy.
It's science. I'm making a new race, by far finer than the present one. Larger in structure, stronger, heavier, healthier. A race able to live on nuts and berries. With a greater capacity for feeling.
Victor, for the love of heaven, don't go through with this experiment. No man living has the right to tamper with the secret of life. You've created a monster on that floor. You've no idea what will happen if you go through with this.
Watch, Professor. The injection.
I only hope and pray this is a failure.
It can't be. His eyes moved. Watch him, Professor. He's like a baby, first realizing life. His hands touch the floor. His eyes are trying to focus on the world around him.
He's hideous.
Yes, he's hideous. I made the skin too much like parchment, I'm afraid.
Victor, get rid of that monster.
He's trying to stand up.
If that mind which you've created is a twisted one, have you any idea what kind of horror you've let loose in England? As a humanitarian, I feel it my Christian duty to do this now.
Put that knife down, Professor.
No, I can't let... Oh, he's got me in the clutch of his hand. Command him to stop this, Victor.
Stop fighting him, Professor. He's frightened. He has the same reactions as a child, grabs and won't let loose.
Let me go, monster.
Stop! Don't go out that door. Put the professor down. Don't go out that door. The monster left my laboratory through the side entrance into the forest, carrying the incredibly mangled body of the professor with him. I rushed out of my laboratory after him, but the creature was faster than I, and he disappeared from view. I returned to my laboratory and destroyed all evidence of the creature's manufacture. I burned the blueprints from which I had made his body. Then, carefully, I locked my laboratory and went upstairs to join Henry Clerval and Elizabeth. I must have looked wild-eyed as I entered the room.
Henry, that's most amusing. You tell the best anecdotes in all of England.
Oh, you flatter me, Elizabeth.
Oh, Victor, you're through sooner than we expected. Darling, what's the matter?
Didn't the professor show up?
Nothing's the matter. My experiment was a failure.
But the professor...
He never showed up. Beth, Henry, I want to go away.
Of course, darling, we will, as soon as Henry can get the house locked up.
I don't want to wait. I want to leave at once. Tonight, please, tonight, Beth. We can get married before we cross the channel and then go to Switzerland.
But it's almost midnight now, darling.
What's the difference? Please, Beth, if you love me.
But why tonight, Victor?
Henry, you've no idea what I've been through. I have to get away at once.
Of course, darling, if you insist. Anything you want.
And we'll be married before daylight. Darling, darling Beth. I know a little minister whom we can awake. And so Beth and I were married that evening in a little chapel on the coast. Then the three of us fled to Bern, Switzerland. I refused to have anything to do with the civilized world. No newspapers, no word of home. Just the peace and quiet of the Swiss mountains. Henry and Elizabeth both tried to learn of the events which had occurred in my laboratory that evening. But I never broke my silence on that subject. After the first tries, they refrained from asking me about it again. It was in the middle of the 4th month of our visit when Henry and I were sitting on the terrace of the little house in the mountain. Beth was out picking berries when Henry suddenly...
Victor, I'm your closest friend. I've tried to keep silent about... Well, Victor, the day after we left England, I bought a newspaper.
Did you, Henry?
Yes, I saw this clipping on the front page. I couldn't very well miss it.
What clipping?
This one. The horribly mangled remains of Professor Waldman was found on Beekman Hill. The identity of the unknown murderer is being sought by Scotland Yard.
Poor Professor Waldman. I'd no idea.
Hadn't you?
No. What are you trying to say to me, Henry?
You're leaving England so suddenly that very night. Your fear of being discovered, the secret experiment. Well, it all seemed to add up to some kind of strange connection with this clipping. Now, if you're in trouble, Victor, you can depend on me. I'll stay by your side.
I'm not in trouble. I'm just tired, terribly tired.
And you know nothing of the professor?
Absolutely nothing.
He didn't come to our chateau that evening.
I told you he didn't then. Stop questioning me. We're out here, Beth.
Oh, I've just had a horrible experience. Oh, darling, I'm so glad to see you.
You're pale, Beth. Sit down right here next to me.
Well, what happened, Beth?
Well, I was walking in the woods not far from here when I looked up and saw... Well, I saw a man. Sort of a man standing over me.
Well, men aren't so bad. That is, if you happen to know the right ones. And you do.
I'm not joshing, Henry. He wasn't exactly a man. He was twice the height of anyone I've ever seen. And his skin looked like dried parchment. It's incredible, but I think I've seen a monster.
Monster?
Yes, I ran away. He didn't follow me. He just stared after me, watching me. You do believe me, don't you?
A monster stared after you?
Look, Henry. Victor, through the trees right out there. Look! There he is again!
Our story continues after this brief pause. And now, back to today's short story.
Yes. The monster stood there, silhouetted against the trees. The monster which I had created, standing like an evil blot of flesh and bone, moved in the darkening twilight. And then suddenly, phantom-like, it disappeared. Beth and Henry both watched me as I started from the piazza after the disappearing creature in the backwoods. As I drew near to the heavily wooded section, giant footprints in the soft mud about me showed the path ahead. The sun was sinking in the west, and the last orange pinpoints of light needled my flesh until every sense within me was tingling with the expectations of seeing my living horror. Then I realized I was unarmed. Every crooked tree, each twisted branch which obstructed my path, appeared to be his form. I heard the crackling of a branch and the moving of a form on the velvet moss.
I thought you'd come, Creator.
You.
Are you frightened, Creator?
You dare talk to me?
Please, don't turn away from me. Please.
Let me go.
I mean no harm to you. Listen to me, Victor Frankenstein. You must listen to me. You created me. You owe me that much.
I owe you nothing, murderer.
Why am I a murderer? Because you created a form so horrible, a face so distorted, that no man can look upon me and call me friend. I'm an outcast. You can save me.
Let me go.
Not until you hear my story. Sit down, Creator.
My arm! Let me go!
I wandered through the streets of London that first day. Children screamed in the streets. People flocked together trying to kill me. And I was lonely and hungry.
How did you follow me here?
Not so long ago, I returned to my birthplace, the laboratory, broke in and discovered your identity. But first, I fled to Scotland and lived outside of a cottage. That's how I learned to speak. An old blind man was teaching a young French girl to speak English. I listened to the lessons from the open windows.
Now, what do you expect of me?
A companion. A woman of the same species, with my defects. One who will be my friend. This being you must create.
No, I'll not do it.
You must. Every man's entitled to a wife.
No.
You must. If you create her for me, I'll take her with me into the far wastes, and no one will ever see either of us again. Ever.
How will you live?
On fruits and berries. We'll manage together. Please, you can't deny me this.
A maid. A monster's maid.
You will? You will. I swear, I'll never harm another human. Never create her. If you'll only grant me just one companion.
And if I refuse?
If you refuse, even a brain that you have made, Creator, might become twisted and distorted.
And so that night in the forest, I made a devil's bargain. I bargained to create a monster's mate, perhaps another murderer. How could I know? The monster swore to live in the forest and wait a year or 2 years if necessary. And upon completion of my work, he would take his companion away. But if I broke my promise, he swore revenge. And so I started work. I searched Paris for the necessary equipment, built a shack in the woods about a mile away from our chalet. 3 months I worked, 3 solid months, shaping her who was to be his mate. And then one night, it was windy outside. I thought the wind had blown the door open when...
Victor, I'm sorry. I had to disturb you.
Is it Beth?
No, not Beth. She's fine and sends her love. It's the townspeople. Your activities have stirred up a lot of curiosity.
Oh, the fools!
Well, I can't blame them, especially after the rumors which have been going around. Rumors of the... Victor, you know of the monster in these forests. You've known of him all along. People have seen him and connect him with you. Mothers in the village are frightened of their children.
I know nothing.
Look, I'm only trying to help you.
I know nothing, I tell you.
But the men have banded together. They're going to make a raid on you here, to burn your laboratory down, and to find the monster who lives in these woods.
They can't. They mustn't.
Oh, what devil's work are you carrying on, man? I'm trying to help you. Oh, Victor, will you please let your friends be your friends?
Henry, go back to Beth and leave me alone.
Beth is safe at home. You're in danger, and I won't leave your side this night, my friend.
And be prepared.
Prepared for what?
You've guessed many of the reasons for my secrecy.
Then there is a monster.
At school, I stumbled on the secret of life. I was trying to create a superior race. I was a fool, and I created him instead.
And he does live?
Yes, he lives.
Professor Waldman. What happened to Professor Waldman?
The night I created the monster, Waldman became frightened. He screamed, attempted to kill the creature. The creature, like a child, warded him off and then tore him to pieces in front of me. I couldn't stop him. The monster had killed before it had really begun to live.
Then what?
The monster left the basement through the side entrance, carrying the professor's corpse. I had no choice. I had to leave the country.
Oh, what are you doing with that creature now?
Fulfilling a promise. Follow me into my cabin and I'll show you. How soon do you think the townsfolk will be here?
Oh, within 2 hours or so. They're meeting in the square in town.
Come in.
What? A woman?
Yes, a woman. The monster's mate, his friend. I promised him a friend, and in return he swears to hide himself forever from the world.
A devil's bargain, Victor.
A bargain I must keep for all our sakes.
But the monster proved himself a murderer time and time again. Why, in London after the death of Professor Waldman.
Time and time again.
But how do you know that the mate won't be even more vicious than he? You'll let loose an avalanche of hatred. Oh, destroy her before you bring her to life.
Yes, avalanche of hatred.
Look, you've no time to waste. Set fire to this cabin quickly, Victor. Set fire to the cabin and come away. But man alive, you can't go through with this thing.
But the promise.
It's a promise to a fiend. He'll be your death and ours, Victor. Oh, hurry, man, hurry, if you've any love for Beth.
I've been insane with grief and fear for Beth and you. Go back to Beth, Henry, at once and wait for me.
And you?
I'll set fire to the cabin as soon as I destroy my books. I'll join you later.
Well, hurry, friend. We'll meet you home as soon as you can make it.
For 1 full hour, I worked feverishly. I soaked the shack in oil, and then taking a taper from the vase, I lit the fire. The fire started quickly. I placed my books in the very center of the room, and then opened the door of my shack. The experiment was at an end, and I felt free. The monster's mate would never live. I walked out, and then I saw him, his face contorted with rage.
Ah! My wife! My only dead devil friend! Ah! My only dead!
I knew then what was in his mind as he raced through the forest in front of me. The blazing shack was a beacon of light, and I saw his huge, misshapen form outdistance me, far outdistance me. He was faster than I, taller than I, and covered more territory. Racing, running blindly through the forest, I reached my home. The door of my home was flung open. Henry, mutilated and torn, stumbled blindly toward me.
Victor, the monster.
Henry, what?
I tried to, Victor.
Henry, you.
Beth, upstairs.
Beth, I'm coming, darling, I'm coming. I'm coming upstairs. I'm coming, darling, I'm coming. If you kill her, Beth! Beth, oh, my darling. My darling. Oh, Beth, no. No. Both you and Henry. Both dead.
You two are alone, Creator.
Yes. Both of them were dead. All my dear ones gone from me now. And I'm alone. The wind howling outside my window is my only companion. All else is quiet as I sit by my window, writing this document. I am dying of loneliness and fear, shunned by the world, hated by everyone. I know I am waiting only for the monster's return, and he, having eluded the world, will return when I've suffered my full share of misery, as he has suffered his.
This has been NBC Short Story. Today, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Join us again next time when NBC presents Short Story.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. Hope you're enjoying today's radio program. When it's done, be sure to check out our channel over at Watchwaddle. Enjoy some tunes with a nice cold soda.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are hiding, crouched waist deep in the murky waters of a Louisiana bayou, while closing in on you, coming towards you through the night, is a lusting mob, screaming for your life.
Listen now as Escape brings you William Frug's unusual story, The Loup Garou.
Morning, Gus. Monsieur Legrand. Gonna be a hot day today.
Oui.
You shrimp nets filled?
Where is Marie?
Marie?
Where is your daughter, Marie?
Oh. He's delivering some medicine to Brother Coxey. He don't feel well today.
You mean he's drunk? I wish to talk to you about Marie.
Yes, Gus?
You have heard the village talk?
No.
I am worried for her.
Worried? Why?
Oh, she's been seen again on the levees with the stranger.
Oh? I didn't know.
There is bad talk about the stranger.
What do they say?
Oh, it is bad talk, Monsieur Legrand.
Tell me, Gus. Tell me.
They say the stranger has killed Pierre's baby.
Pierre? Gus.
I know the bayous, monsieur. Strange things happen.
But this thing is... No, I don't believe it.
It is not what you believe, but what the others believe.
Oui, that is true.
I have come to warn you.
About my Marie?
Oui, she is young and pretty and headstrong. I would not like to see her harmed. Now I have warned you, Monsieur Legrand. We cannot protect this stranger. But, Marie...
Oui, Gus, I will tell Marie.
We wait here. Gus comes soon.
Hey, what Gus want?
I do not know. He say it is important. To be a pilot, that is life.
No, not you, Taco. You smell too much like shrimp.
What is wrong with the shrimp?
Well, pilots smell like hair tonic. There's a big difference.
My cousin is pilot. He go on the boat to New Orleans every month.
Well, I've been in New Orleans.
Pilots, smart fellows, Willie. They make big money.
Yeah. I get there plenty of women, I bet.
Yeah, plenty everything. To be a pilot. That is the life.
Yeah.
Oh, here come Gus.
Bonjour.
Hello, Gus,
hi,
my
Gus.
friend.
Where's the wine? Mosquitoes.
Here, I have some wine.
Orange wine.
It is good orange wine. I make it myself.
Yeah, will you drink this? I'm used to better.
Hey, Taco, give it to me. I ain't so particular.
I just come from Pierre's house.
How is little Trapper?
Oh, angry. Very angry.
Well, what's the matter? Ain't he getting enough for his muskrat?
His baby is dead.
Dead?
Oui.
Oh, he got 11 more.
Oh, I'm sorry for Pierre. It was swamp fever.
Oh, do not be so sure.
What do you mean, Gus?
There are other ways for babies to die.
What you getting at?
Taco.
Yes, Gus?
You have seen the stranger?
Tall one, quiet one?
Oui.
Hey, I seen him. Walking down Levitt the other night with your gal, Marie.
I warn you.
Hey.
I have seen him, Gus.
Pierre's baby took sick the night the stranger come.
Huh?
Oui, that is right.
That was the same night I lose my car, remember? We all looked.
I remember well.
The car just disappeared.
The night the stranger come. Hey, the night he come...
An animal disappeared.
The baby gets sick.
There is only one way this can happen.
Oh.
Hey, I seen a ghost once in the swamp.
This stranger, he live in the swamp.
An animal disappear, baby die.
Oh.
What evil creature can do this, Taco, eh? What evil creature?
Loup Garou. Werewolf.
Loup Garou.
Gus, what will we do? We are in danger.
Well, we do one thing. We fix him before he fix us.
Zeb.
Oh. Hello, Marie.
You come to see me, no?
I come to buy me some salt.
Oh, we have salt.
Marie, we have a customer. Oh, you're here.
Oui, Papa. It's Zeb.
Mm-hmm. Come to buy me some salt.
Papa, Zeb's from Mississippi. It's hot there, too. Isn't it, Zeb?
I don't mind it none.
You, like the bayous, Mr. Zeb?
I reckon.
Bayous got strange ways.
Zeb's going to be a big farmer someday, Papa. He's learning to grow things in the swamps.
In the swamps? Here's your salt, Mr. Zeb. Good day.
Don't you want me to pay you?
Just put your money on the counter.
Thank you.
Zeb?
Yes'm?
We walk again on the levee?
Well,
Tonight?
I reckon.
Marie.
Yeah, Papa.
I don't like this.
But why, Papa?
This Zeb. He's a stranger here. He don't understand the bayous.
Then I'll teach him.
There's talk.
What kind of talk?
Gus. He come to see me. Why don't you like Gus no more?
I like Zeb.
Gus is word for you. He says the village don't like Zeb.
Gus is jealous.
Well, there are others. They all say Zeb is evil.
I don't believe it.
Marie, honey, I know these people. I know the Delta. You gotta promise me you won't see this Zeb again.
My baby is dead.
I am sorry, Pierre.
And you saw him near your cabin the night the child took sick. Did you not, Pierre?
I saw him with the girl Marie, with the daughter of the storekeeper, I'm sure.
He was with Marie. See, I thought that she was...
Never mind that. You saw the stranger, Pierre, huh?
Oui.
But there. What have I told you?
Gus is right.
Maybe we ought to ask Marie.
No, she is a child. She does not know about these things.
Yeah, but seeing as how you and her...
You shut up! Marie is nothing to me. It is the stranger we must think of.
Gus is right.
Stranger. He killed my baby.
Oh, we waste no more time talking. Come. We get the others.
Is that you, Zeb?
Yeah.
I can't see like you used to. Getting dark out.
Yeah.
It's me, Brother Coxey. Now, ain't you going to ask me in?
Yeah, come on in.
Nice, cozy place you got here.
Thank you.
Got any liquor?
Reckon not.
Lucky I brought some. Want to pull?
No, thank you.
Excuse me, then. I come to talk to you, Zeb.
Yeah?
There's trouble, Zeb. Bad trouble. Been brewing a long time.
Why are you telling me?
Brother Coxey's your friend. I come to warn you, son.
I don't need no warning.
Then you hear it?
Reckon I did.
What you gonna do?
Ain't gonna do nothing.
Zeb, this ain't no ordinary trouble. Crops is bad. There ain't been no rain. The people are stirred up.
This is my land. I aim to stay on it.
He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it. That's from the Bible, Old Testament, Proverbs.
I don't care what the Bible says. This is my cabin.
Zeb, they don't want your cabin.
And what do they want?
Son, you listen to Brother Coxey. I come here 47 years ago. I come to do good and preach the word of the Lord. And I come with nothing but the shirt on my back and the good book in my hand.
I can't read no book.
There's good people here. But they got their ways.
What kind of ways?
They got their notions. Zeb, you ever heard of the fou follet?
Ain't never.
Ain't nothing but swamp gas. Little pockets of gas that explode in the swamps. Folks down here figure that there's evil spirits. When they see 'em, they just naturally got to start running.
I seen 'em.
And it's the same way with the spirits, ghosts, zombies.
I never seen them.
Folks in the bayous have.
What's that got to do with me?
You ever hear tell of a Loup Garou?
No.
Spirit that can change himself into an animal.
What kind of animal?
Any kind, feels like. Horse, dog, cow, anything.
Is there such a thing?
Folks here say there is. Loup Garou kills people.
Hope I don't ever see one.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't. You got to believe in him first.
I don't know.
Suppose you was one of them.
What? Me?
Just suppose.
I don't know.
That's why you got to leave this place.
You talk crazy, Brother Coxey. You drunk?
Maybe.
You better get.
Zeb, folks is saying that you're a Loup Garou.
Brother Coxey, you better get.
Zeb, listen to me.
I ain't much for books. I'm just a farmer. I come here for a place of my own. I don't like crazy talk.
Son, this ain't crazy.
Get.
Wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction.
That's book talk again.
Matthew 7.
Get.
Just this once, Zeb. Just this once, listen to me. You're in terrible trouble.
I can take care of myself. And I ain't moving off my land. Now you get.
We will return to Escape and tonight's story, The Loup Garou, in just a moment. Tomorrow night, don't miss William Holden as a hero beneath the seas in Lux Radio Theater's stirring adaptation of the screenplay Submarine Command. And now, back to Escape.
I'm just closing the store.
Never mind, stir. Come at once.
Where?
The orange packing shed. There is big meeting tonight.
What meeting?
The village. Whole village. You must come.
Why?
The stranger. We get the stranger. He has killed Pierre's baby. We must save the village.
Go on without me.
It is better you come.
Yeah. Maybe it is better I come.
Hurry, little.
Papa, what is it? What'd Taco say?
Not for you.
It's about Zeb.
Yeah. Zeb.
The village is against him.
Yeah.
What's he done to them?
Well, he's a stranger. They're feared of him.
There's more. Papa, tell me.
Well, they all say he killed Pierre's baby.
Papa.
I don't believe him.
Papa, you will help him.
I'm only one voice.
Then you must go at once.
I'll try.
Papa.
Huh? Yes?
Do you believe Zeb be evil?
I don't know.
He's not, Papa. I swear.
You love Zeb?
I love him.
Then I trust what you say.
Stop him. You must stop him.
Yeah, I'll go. Now, there's danger here, Marie. You stay inside and lock the doors and windows.
I'll go to Zeb.
No, Marie. You must not go there.
Go to Zeb.
Marie!
Come back! Come back!
Why we waste time with this dog? My baby lies dead. There must be justice. Kill the Loup Garou, that's justice. Oh, wait, no, stop! Stop, we hear all the evidence. Is there any other who wishes to speak?
I wish to speak, Monsieur Gus.
Monsieur Legrand.
Speak. I have lived in the bayous many years. This is my home. I've seen things I can't explain. Strange little lights in the swamps, the animals who disappear without trace, the men who suddenly die without reason. These things I can't explain. And I've seen the stranger who calls himself Zeb. And I say to myself, is this man evil? Or do I fear this man because he's a stranger? And the answer is yes.
Enough talking.
The answer is yes. I fear this man because I don't know him. And that's the only reason.
Enough. Now, we have heard, Monsieur Legrand. There will be swamp justice. We do not kill. We tie the Loup Garou to the stake and let the mosquitoes and the tapanos be the executioners. Yeah, that's right. Justice for the Loup Garou!
Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth this color in the cup. At the last it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder. Proverb 23.
You're drunk, Brother Coxey.
Drunker than alligator in an oyster bed.
You better leave.
Drunker than a drumfish in a shrimp net.
You better go home.
Ain't you ever going to get some sense, boy? Home is where the bottle is.
The bottle's empty.
So it is. 47 years in the bayous and the bottle is always empty. You try, son. You try your almightiest and they just don't listen. You try and you pray that the wrath of God will show them and they just don't listen. Well, they're here. Your company's here, Zeb.
They can come.
And open that door, boy, and you sign your death warrant.
I can take care of myself.
Zeb!
What are you doing here?
Zeb, we must go at once.
I'm staying.
Zeb, they're coming to kill you.
I got a gun.
The whole village, Zeb.
In the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
You shut up.
Zeb, Gus is bringing the village to kill you. They say you're a Loup Garou.
I don't know no Loup Garou.
It's not true, Zeb. I know it's not true.
Maybe it is. You better get.
I'll not leave without you.
Maybe I'm what they say I am. I don't know.
You're not, Zeb. It's Gus. He's made him this way. He's made him angry.
You better get. I may hurt you like I hurt the others.
Brother, help me.
Love is the strongest death. Jealousy is
Zeb, I
the
beg you.
grave.
I plead with you. Leave before you kill. Leave for my sake.
What? For your sake.
For me, Zeb. For Marie. Zeb. Zeb!
Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for thy stomach's sake. Timothy 3. If empty.
All right. All right, I'll go.
Quickly. Into the swamp. They'll not see us in the darkness.
If the blind lead the blind, both fall into the ditch. Matthew 14. I'm coming with you.
This way.
I'll lead the way.
I'm coming with you.
Oh, we'll wait for Brother Cox.
We can't wait, Zeb.
Brother Coxey.
Whither thou goest, I will go. But I think I'll nap you a little bit.
Zeb, we can't wait.
All right, follow me.
Zeb, I'm with you, Zeb.
Oh, it's no use.
Zeb, please.
Maybe they're right.
They're not right, Zeb. Hurry, we're gaining.
Maybe I ought to give up, huh?
They can't find us in the swamp, Zeb. Hurry. Hurry.
Marie.
There's no matter. You go without me.
What? You cut your leg.
Go without me, Zeb. It's your life.
Oh, it's no use running now.
Zeb, have your match.
What? A match?
Quickly, give it to me. It's our only chance.
Here.
I can see you, both of you. Where you think you're smart, huh? You make the big fool out of Gus. Hey, Marie, you make love to this stranger behind my back. You think I don't know, huh? Gus knows. Now I come to get you, my pretty one. Both of you.
He's coming, Zeb.
I'm ready for him.
You do not make fool out of Gus.
Zeb, he got a knife.
I get the Loup Garou. My throat, my throat. No, I ain't no Loup Garou. No. I ain't no Loup Garou. No, air. I ain't no Loup Garou. No.
He's dead. I killed him.
Marie!
Here.
What?
Marie, you're not hurt.
Papa. Gus, he's dead.
I killed him.
Gus came with a knife. He tried to kill them.
I see.
The others. They gone?
They've gone.
Will they come looking for us?
No. They fear the evil swamp spirit.
Can we go back now, Papa?
Yes. Gus was the evil spirit. And the Loup Garou is dead.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you The Loup Garou by William Froug, starring Bill Conrad, with John Daner, Georgia Ellis, and Forrest Lewis. Featured in the cast were Tom Tully, Lou Krugman, Jack Crucian, and Don Diamond. Editorial supervision is by John Meston, and the special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are standing alone and trembling in an ancient cathedral, while outside, somewhere in the night, is the stranger who's been stalking you, seeking out your life.
So listen next week when Escape brings you Kathleen Heights' strange tale of adventure, transport to terror. Agnes Moorehead, the First Lady of Suspense, makes her 19th starring appearance tomorrow night on CBS Radio Suspense. Don't miss Agnes Moorehead in Death and Miss Turner tomorrow night over most of these same CBS radio stations. Stay tuned now for Robert Trout and the News, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. Roy Rowan speaking. And remember, you're invited to Art Linkletter's house party every weekday on the CBS Radio Network.
It's intermission time at the Bah Ghoulie Show. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for some hot popcorn? How's about your favorite soft drinks, which are sparkling cold? And there's all kinds of candy to tempt you. It's radio time, folks. Enjoy the rest of the program. During the intermission, our radio show brings to you a cartoon for the record. We now return you to our radio show.
And now, the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the series of radio dramas dedicated to the supernatural, the unusual, and the unknown. Come with me, my friends. We shall descend to the world of the unknown and forbidden, down to the depths where the veil of time is lifted, and the supernatural reigns as king. Come with me and listen to the tale of the Marquis of Death.
Are you coming, Davy?
Yes, Andre. Where are you?
Right along the riverbank. Oh, yes, I see you. Where is he?
Over here.
Everett.
Don't worry. He is alive.
What happened to him?
I will show you. Let me light a match. Take a look at his throat, monsieur.
3 little red marks.
That is correct, mon ami. The mark of the vampire bat.
And now for our story. An original tale of fantasy by Richard Thorne entitled The Marquis of Death.
My brother went with me to Millau in the southern part of France. For while I wrote my novel, he was to rest. The doctors in the States had told him to take a complete 6 months' rest. I knew of no better place in which to do it. It was a warm evening in June when it began, this tale I tell. A warm evening, cooled by the soft breath of a summer's breeze. Everett, my brother, had gone for a walk. Monsieur André Decour, the son of the mayor of Millau, had dropped in for a glass of wine. Another glass, André?
One more, and that is all. And how are you coming with your novel, mon ami?
I haven't even started, André. I've only been here 2 weeks, you know.
What's the matter? Why do you wait so long to begin?
Oh, your wine, André.
Avec plaisir.
Oh, I can't explain it, André. It just can't get started. I thought I had a good plot when I came over here, but the more I think about it, the less I like it.
Then you do not know what you will write about?
No.
I hope you'll not think it presumptuous of me, monsieur. But I know the story you could write.
Oh?
I shall tell it to you. Have you ever heard of those they call the undead, les morts qui vivent?
The undead? Doesn't that refer to someone who lives even after death?
Oui, but in a very certain way, mon ami. One who lives after death by feeding upon the blood of the living. A woman who was known as the Marquise de la Mauparte.
The name rings a bell somewhere in my memory, but I can't quite place it.
It should, mon vieux. Many stories have been written of the frequent appearances she's made since her death.
Since her death?
Oui. I myself saw her one night, many years ago when I was just a lad. I shall never forget the sight of her.
Why? Was she so terrible to behold?
Oh, quite the contrary. She was the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Shall I tell you about her?
Oh, yes.
Mettez-vous à votre aise, for it is a fairly long tale. 150 years ago, this part of France was the personal property of the Marquis de la Mauparte. The Marquis was a kind man who cared for his people as much as they cared for him. He was a lonely man, the Marquis, but he interested himself with his people and this way forgot his loneliness. When he was almost 45, he married her. No one knew how she came to this province, nor when she arrived. Immediately, the Marquis began paying attention to her, and in a short while, they were married. It was after the marriage that the Marquis began to change. She seemed to bring out in him everything that was bad. One night, there came to this province an unknown carriage drawn by 4 all-black horses.
Get up! Get up now!
The driver whipped the horses and called out harshly to them. Those who saw the carriage said the driver had the eyes of a madman. The carriage raced along the road, stopping finally when it came to the Chateau Mauparte. No one got out of the carriage, but the driver jumped down and made his way into the chateau. The driver claimed to be the father of the Marquise, and that she must return home with him for a while. And indeed, the Marquise upheld his story.
I must go with you, my husband, but it will not be for long.
And so she went with the black-caped man with the terrifying black eyes. 1 month to the day she left, she returned. The same man drove the carriage.
Get up! Get up now!
And the Marquise de la Mauparte rode inside. They arrived in the dead of night.
We are here, my daughter.
As I see.
You have
what I have promised you. As long as time exists, so shall you exist. Others may die, but you will live forever. Remember that at night, when the sky is dark and the moon is high in the heavens, then you shall walk the earth while others sleep. Then you may strike them down.
The Marquis went into the chateau, and the carriage and man disappeared and were never seen again. It was after her return that the Marquise developed an aversion to sunlight. By day she would sleep, and when the sun had set, she would wake and live while others slept. The Marquis soon died, and he was laid to rest. And one by one, the servants died. And those that were left ran away, saying that she had caused their deaths. And they said that the mark on her neck she had when she returned to the Chateau Maupeart had been caused by a vampire, and that she too had become one of the dead who live, les morts qui vivent.
Is that all of the story?
Oh, mais non, mon ami. It captures your interest, I see.
Yes, go on.
The Marquise disappeared shortly after that, but occasionally the villagers would see her, and some lived to tell about it.
What do you mean?
Many they found dead. Those who were brave enough to go abroad at night, dead with the triple puncture of the vampire bat on their throats.
You don't actually believe that, do you?
Oui, I do.
But, Andre, you don't expect
I
me
tell
to...
you, I saw her, mon ami. When I was younger, I didn't believe the tale. Another lad and I had gone over to the chateau to play around the ruins. It became quite late, and the sun set in the west. Suddenly she was there, in back of me, standing there in a black gown, with her raven tresses falling down over her shoulders, her skin the color of pale ivory, and her eyes looking through me, holding me in a trance by their power. Oh, no. I shall never forget her, mon ami.
She must be beautiful, the way you describe her.
Words cannot do justice to her. By the way, where's your brother?
Oh, he said he was going for a walk along the river.
Which way, north or south?
I don't know. Why?
Because the ruins of the Chateau Maupeart stand north of Millau on the river. No one ever walks there alone at night.
You really expect me to believe that story?
I would if I were you, monsieur. The Marquise walks along the bank of the Tarn River at night. If your brother is walking north, toward the chateau, he is apt to meet her. And that meeting, monsieur, could very well result in his death.
Back now to our story. An original tale of fantasy by Richard Thorne entitled The Marquis of Death.
We sat there in the gathering darkness. Andre Lecour had just told me a story I found difficult to believe. Yet he sat there sipping his wine, and the look in his face told me that he believed it.
Believe me, mon ami, if your brother is walking north along the banks of the Tarn, he is apt to meet the Marquise. And that meeting could very well result in his death.
You really do believe the story, don't you?
But of course I do. And I would advise you to believe it too, mon ami.
What do you think I should do?
Go searching for him.
Alone?
I shall go with you, monsieur.
All right.
Venez avec moi. Come with me. Together we shall go to the bank of the Tarn. Perhaps we may not find him. But if we do, he will be a victim of les morts qui vivent, of the dead who live.
What if he walked the other way?
Then we shall have made the trip for nothing, but at least we'll know.
Should I try calling him?
Oui.
Everett! Everett! If he's around here, he should have heard that.
He might not be able to hear you, monsieur.
Maybe we ought to split up.
A good idea, but do not go far. Stay within voice of each other.
All right.
You go south, I'll go north. We meet again here in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Au revoir.
See you later. I watched him walk off. It was getting quite dark when I started down the river. It couldn't have been more than 3 minutes from the time we parted. when she stepped out from behind a tree.
Bonsoir, monsieur.
Good evening.
Are you looking for someone?
How did you know?
I heard you calling to him.
Have you seen anybody around here?
No one, monsieur.
What are you doing down here?
I am walking, monsieur.
You live around here?
Near the chateau, monsieur.
The chateau.
Oui. At what are you staring, monsieur?
Your eyes.
Davy! Davy!
What?
Your friend. He is calling to you, monsieur. A bientôt.
Diggies, I found him!
Where are you?
Follow the river north.
A bientôt.
Are you coming, Davy?
Yes, Andre. Where are you?
Right along the riverbank.
Yes. Yes, I see you. Where is he?
Over here.
Everett.
Don't worry, he's alive.
What happened to him?
I will show you. Let me light a match. Take a look at his throat, monsieur.
3 little red marks.
And it is correct, mon ami. The mark of the vampire bat. We shall know how your brother is in a few minutes, mon ami. Stop wearing holes in your carpets.
I saw someone out there, Andre.
Out where?
By the river.
Oh? Who was it?
A woman.
A woman?
Yes.
What did she look like?
I don't know. It was pretty dark. She stayed by. She's bringing Ed back here.
Did she talk to you?
Yes.
What did she say?
Well, she said she was out walking, that she lived near the chateau. You know, her eyes, they were the only things I could really see clearly. They seemed to burn and shine in the darkness. I felt like I was being hypnotized, and then you called me. That snapped me out of it.
Then you have met the Marquis of Death, mon ami. And had I not called you when I did, you would not be alive to tell about it. Did she say anything else?
Yes. She said, a bientôt, 2 or 3 times.
You know what that means, do you not?
Something like, I'll see you again soon, isn't that it?
Oui, and she means that, monsieur. She will see you again.
Oh, the doctor's coming.
Yes. Perhaps he can tell us how badly your brother has been hurt. How is he, doctor?
He is at a narrow escape. You are his brother?
Yes.
He will need blood transfusions. He has lost a great deal of blood.
Then, do you think we should take him to the hospital?
We cannot do that, Monsieur Gaumont.
Oh, why not?
This is a very delicate matter. The people of Millau will not allow it.
What do you mean, Dr. Moreau?
You tell him, Andre.
Oui, doctor. What he means, David, is that she will follow your brother wherever he goes. The doctor cannot take the risk of bringing him to the hospital. The danger to the other patients would be too great.
You can't just...
I shall bring it back here, Monsieur Gaumont.
All right.
He was walking down by the river, was he not?
Oui, Monsieur Gorman and I went after him. We found him just in time.
Those 3 marks on his throat. You know what they are, monsieur? The marks of the vampire bat. The mark of the Marquis of Death.
Well, hasn't anything been done to stop her?
Because we cannot find her, monsieur. And besides, the townspeople are afraid to go after her.
If they went out in sufficient numbers,
They've tried that before, mon ami. When the sun shines, they've gone out and searched for her resting place, for she lies helpless during the rain of the sun. They've searched all day, and yet they've not found it. And those unlucky ones who stayed after dark, some of them went to join those she had claimed earlier. That's why they do not go out after her, mon ami. They are afraid, and with good reason.
What do they do?
There are protective measures, Monsieur Gaumont. Garlic, the cross, things which the dead who live fear. But it is getting late. I shall return as quickly as I can. What was that?
It sounded like a window breaking.
Came from upstairs. Come on.
Could he regain consciousness?
I doubt it.
Then what broke the window?
We'll see right now.
Look out!
What was it?
The dead who live. The vampire bat.
What was it doing here?
Let me see.
He's all right, isn't he?
No, Monsieur Gaumont. He is not all right. He will not need the transfusion now. Your brother is dead.
Back now to our story. An original tale of fantasy by Richard Thorne entitled The Marquis of Death.
The three of us, Andre Lecour, Dr. Moreau, and myself, stood there, staring out the broken window after the thing that had flown out. My brother lay in the bed, eyes open, seeing nothing.
He will not need the transfusion now. Your brother is dead.
What?
That is correct. Remember what Andre said about her returning? Well, she did. She came back before we could do anything for him. Now, it is too late.
You stand here and calmly say that he's dead. You accept it for a fact, but you don't propose to do anything about it.
What can we do, mon ami?
We can go find her. We can destroy her.
Oh, others have tried before you, Monsieur Gaumont, with no success.
I don't care. I'm going out there, even if I have to go alone.
You cannot go out there alone.
But I am, and you're not going to stop me.
I shall go with you, mon ami.
And I, monsieur, I shall go with you, too.
What about him?
He will be all right, Monsieur Gaumont. There is nothing more she can do to him.
Before we started out, the doctor insisted on picking up some things. Eventually, we were ready, and we started out into the blackness of the night.
You have everything?
Yes.
All right, let us go.
Where shall we begin, doctor?
In the ruins of the chateau, Andre.
Why did you bring all those things, Dr. Moreau? The wooden stake, crosses?
If we find les morts qui vivent, the dead who live, we shall have need for the things we have brought.
We must stay close together, close enough so that we can always talk to each other. No matter what happens, we must not become separated.
Now we all have a lampe de poche.
A what?
A flashlight, mon ami.
What are we to look for?
A trail. A footpath worn smooth by the years of returning to our resting place. I've been thinking since we started out tonight, and that, I am sure, is the only way we can find her. At either end of the path, there we shall find the resting place of the Marquis of Death.
Let's begin.
Oui. I will take the center, Andre. You take the left.
All right.
Monsieur Gaumont, you take the right.
All right.
We will circle the chateau at varying lengths from it. Look not only for the path, but for the presence of each of us, so that she cannot destroy us singly. All right, let us go.
Right.
Bonne chance, messieurs.
Bonne chance.
Good luck.
That is far enough, Monsieur Gaumont.
Right.
Look for the footpath.
Oui.
Bonsoir, monsieur. We meet again.
What?
Silence.
Where did you come from?
I have been following you, monsieur.
You're so beautiful.
My eyes. Look at my eyes.
Your eyes.
And I come close to you. Like this, monsieur.
So close.
Davy! Doctor, look! Hold up your cross, David! Your cross!
À bientôt, monsieur.
David, are you all right?
Are you all right, Monsieur Gaumont?
What happened?
Let me see your neck, monsieur.
Is he all right?
Oui. She did not touch him.
All of a sudden, she was here beside me. She told me to look into her eyes. I couldn't help myself, and then I seemed to be going to sleep.
It is a good thing Andre looked back and saw you, Monsieur Gaumont. We'll reach you just in time.
We will have to stay together, the three of us. We cannot split up.
Oui.
You're standing right there, right? Look.
Where?
Right there. It's a path.
You have found it.
What should we do?
Follow the path, naturellement. Let us go. This path, it leads away from the chateau. Always before we search near the chateau.
The woods get heavy up ahead, Doctor.
She cannot harm us as long as we stay together. Put the cross around your neck, Monsieur Gaumont, as Andre and I have done.
Right.
Had you worn it there before, she would not have come near you.
Now, the woods begin here.
Let us go slowly, then.
The path is well hidden.
Oui. No wonder we have missed it so many times before.
Look, up ahead.
A cave. The path leads into a cave.
Then that must be her resting place.
Let us go quickly.
Be careful. She'll be around here somewhere.
It's getting close to morning. The sky is lightening.
Oh, the better for us, Monsieur Gaumont. She will be powerless when the sun rises. This is the cave. Let us go inside. Shine your lamp to pass ahead of us.
I see something. Up ahead.
Looks like a coffin.
It's a coffin, monsieur. Aye.
She will be returning soon. The sun will rise in a short while. She must return here to sleep through the day. Bah, to the other side, into the shadows.
Prenez garde. She comes. There was a bat up there. Then suddenly it changed into a beautiful woman.
Silence!
She has stopped. Now she is getting into the coffin.
The sun is rising. Now we'll get her! Where did you... Now you'll die, Marquis de la Mopar! The sun is rising, Marquis! There's nothing we can do! Now, we'll destroy you! No! Die! Come on!
Is she dead?
Oui. She is dead. Truly dead.
A stake through her. Why did you kill her that way?
That is the only way the dead who live can be killed, mon ami.
So perishes the Marquis de la Mopar. The terrible toll of death she has taken through the years is now ended. She has crossed a barrier from which there is no return. Milo has been freed from the curse of the Marquis of Death.
So runs tonight's tale of the unusual, the terrifying, the unknown. Join us again when next we journey down the corridors of the Hall of Fantasy to hear another strange tale of the supernatural. All characters and events portrayed in these programs are fictional, and any similarity to actual events or persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
Thanks for watching the Bah Ghoulie Show by OTR Halloween Holidays. This is Waddle the Duck saying check out Channel Watchwaddle for some fun cartoons with no static.